I am not a Pokemon. Sorry, they're in the group chat now too. So we're doing. I don't know. We're doing that again. I do want to find a way to like make it so that I can have like the Twitch chat.
Well, hold on. I can hear
you. A Pokemon. Sorry, they're in the group chat now. There we go. Okay. I sound really weird to myself. Anyways, so I want to find a way to like have an overlay or something because I really don't like. I've had people before. Why did you get a camera? I don't want to do that because I feel like I'm taking up screen space when you're trying to see what I'm doing, not watching me. There's no reactions to animation. But I do want to try to find some kind of way to get text or something so that the people that are watching the recordings aren't like, what are you talking about? So, anyways, hello. There we go. I'm breaking the screen. Anyways, Friday streams, yay. Hey, look, stream started. Oh yeah, I should probably put messages out. So I got this one. And that one. Close that. Okay. Let's just close that in general. Okay, you have an issue. We'll see what this issue is. I see a hoof. Is there water there? Because if it's water, that's just how the light reacts with it, and I really can't do anything about that. I wouldn't. I don't know really how to fix that in regards to like having the models don't interact like that. Yeah. I don't know if there's a setting for it or if what you would call that. I mean, it's a type of refraction, so really, if you were to get rid of it on the water itself, it would work, but in a way that's also going to get rid of some of the other reflections. So yeah, I can't really help you on that one. Sorry. The latest episode. Yeah, I think you should be able to. I don't know if you can turn them off, but you should be able to reduce them drastically. So you should probably try play that with reflection. No, the new episode. I was actually at MLP MSP last weekend, and they premiered the episode at 2:00 or 2:30, which was, I know that the actual airing was at 10:30, but technically that's our SFM panel was at 10:30 on Saturday. But they did a premiering where it had the main hall showed the episode, and it was literally the entire convention was there. Like every seat was taken. There was people standing on the walls. It was full, and Emma Larson was there. So it was kind of cool that we got to watch the episode 100 with the writer present, and then afterwards they did a breakdown. But I had to cut out of that a little early. But so yeah, it was really cool to be able to see that in a large group like that, to where when things came up that were fan related, everybody got cheering and was super excited. So, so yeah, I mean that was pretty awesome just for that reason. I watched it again later because with all the cheering, sometimes you didn't hear people say things, but yeah, it was a lot of fun though, and the convention itself was fun. Exhausting. I am not setting an alarm tomorrow morning. I am going to be sleeping in as long as I possibly can to do some catch up. I'm still tired. So I'm going to try to go until 10, but who knows. In terms of what I'm doing today, well, for one, I keep forgetting I want to mention, for those, so you know, there is the Steam group thing, and actually they're over here talking in the Steam chat. Oh, you swore, what's up? See, look, it even says, like he's guessing. But there's a Steam group that we made for, like, if you want to catch the stream. Oh, look at the game. If you want to catch the stream but don't have social media, there's this little nifty group here you can go to. It's open for anybody as long as it doesn't get abused, and it will automatically post on events so that you know when they start. So if you can be playing a game, it'll be like a Stargo streaming. You can be like, well, I'm quitting instantly. So there's that. I just want to make reminders of that, because otherwise there's really no way to know that a group exists. So heads up for anybody watching recordings later. Um, in terms of making another poster, I do technically need to make one, and I actually thought about doing. Where is this? There's that one picture I made. Oh yeah, I forgot I got rid of my previews. This one. I thought about doing this for all the main 6. Is so like making one for Twilight and then like actually for Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy. That's more related to their personalities. So for her, in a way, this is kind of fitting because it's magic. But I thought about making one for each of them, so I do kind of want to go about making another one like that. And I thought about doing that for Celestia as well to kind of go with what did I call that? No. Where did I put it? Probably just looked it over. This one. So to make a Celestia one that's not in the same sense, but just something that shows her. I was thinking of having her at her desk doing busy work, but I was thinking about doing that for all of them because I've been considering doing it where for charity auctions, getting actual prints of those and signing them of all the main 6 and the princesses and having all those and then just putting it in the charity auctions. So just because it would be something, why not? Make some money for charity. So, but I want to actually get something that's themed or together for like something like that. But I don't know. That would take time because those pictures take a day or two to put together. Yeah, I mean, I can make one on the stream, but I don't have any ideas for some of them. Like Fluttershy would obviously be something nature related, so it'd be like out here with the things. But I don't really, in terms of like animals, I don't know how many models exist for those. Rainbow Dash would be obviously something with speed racing, or not really racing, but I thought about just doing her like flying through the sky, kind of like I did for this. Like, but having it be a little bit more detailed in the background because this was done from video. But Applejack, obviously, in the farm. Though I might want to wait on hers until some of the models are released that were being worked on. I'm very good at winging it. I know that, but it's more of it gets. I like having some of them in a structure when I do the streaming thing, so that the recordings I can actually go through and show, like. Exactly what I was thinking as I was going, because otherwise, like with the Luna one, I had to put in there are no annotations because I'm like, I had no idea what I was doing when I was making this. It was so random. But technically, I still have to finish this video by BronyCon, which is in a month and a half. So I technically have 6 weeks to finish this. And I mean, I have a lot done. Actually, I got the hardest part done. I got to do the easier part, except for this shot right here. But I technically still have a lot to do with it, so I do need to do a lot of work on this before I get too involved with other stuff, and I still have a couple anthology things I need to finish. Camera dips here. Oh, I didn't like that shot anyways, I was going to change that. Congratulations on getting your views. Okay, I'm trying. I'm gonna kind of like how I did with this part. I had separation points to where I considered to be for rendering. So like from this point through to basically this point was a break point. And then this was a breakpoint, and I consider breakpoints because it's a point in which there's no animations going on, so it's a good place to cut things because there's no like, I don't want to cut from this shot to this shot because her movements are going between them. So if I cut it there, or not really cut it, but if I separate workloads between those, it means that anything that modified one may not match up with the other. So I'd like to try to figure that out here. So like in here, this would be one cut point because technically there's no model showing. So this next shot, no matter what you go into, it's completely separate. So that's what normally when I'm trying to figure out what I want to start working on, it's based on when it was something with cut. So like here, because of this pole here, I can technically I can start from this point and not have to worry about like continuity issues from the shots before. No, I'm not doing Applejack eating an orange for the first time. They're supposed to be like innocent pictures, and that would be like creepy. She doesn't eat oranges. She doesn't like that part of her family. I don't want to have that thing on. Bam. Just so I can have, if I'm working on stuff, I'm on a full screen. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, like I said, I'm so tired. Yeah. Okay. Twilight's emotions work. She is way too happy. Her eyes closed, so I don't want those. Alright, there, now she's got the right emotion there. But yeah, it would be kind of funny. I don't even know if there's an orange model. I don't. Oh, yeah, Xbox does have Twitch, doesn't it? I don't have an Xbox One. I have an Xbox 360 Reach Edition. Okay, the problem with Angel Bunny is Angel Bunny sucks. Angel is old and moves weird. I've only used Angel for a few things, and I don't like to if I don't need to. What the hell is this? There's a hole in my floor. I think that's how the rats get in. There should be one over here then too. Yeah. Easy fix, but I have to do it. Alright. No, it's Angel's like weird. Like just moves weird. Has no facial expressions. So I can't make Angel do anything other than look blankly forward. There's nothing. Oh wait, maybe. Oh, there is! Ah, okay, maybe. Okay, so that really doesn't do much, though. What is this one? I mean, I can't open the mouth. Yeah. The emotions, or to make it open, basically, is to go pop it and go, hey, ah. Cat front. Wait, what happens if I put multiple of these? Actually, with this just right, it looks like a cute little mouth. Like, oh. Oh, that's weird. Okay, cat down. What did I do to your mouth? I broke the angel. Actually, now that I think about it, I didn't add Angel's stuff to the organizer. If you look back on my YouTube, you'll see back when I started SFM. It was like February of 2013, I think. So I've been doing this for just over 2 years. Okay, so in terms of like walking up, really not much I can do. I mean, the most I want to do is probably make them look around a little bit, but that's not main motion, so I'm not going to bother with it right now. Okay, is this continuous, how they are moving? Okay, yes. I just want to make sure that they're, like, whatever leg is forward is also going forward in those shots. So I think I kind of want to have her looking a bit forward here. But to probably have her right up at the last bit here. Look up to Celestia. On my first use of SFM, I don't think the map would open. No. It was just something really, really simple. Yeah, it was this thingy. That was my first video. That's my first anything, actually. My first day I opened up SFM. But this took me like an entire Saturday, and it was like just so much confusion. I had no idea what I was doing. But I did this first because it was a model that had no bones, so I didn't have to worry about doing like advanced animation or like a lot of stuff. All I had to do was move a model through whatever. It was so janky, and that was pre-made particles in the map. I didn't touch that. So that's all it was. That was my very, very first thing ever. My second was actually involved ponies. This one. It was just a loop. And I think that was made like 2 days later. It was actually then I was like, I need to figure out how to make mains have bones, and I started playing with that afterwards. But you can see like her leg here is like busted to hell and whatever. But it turned out pretty good for what it is. Those you talking like the spaceship models? The spaceship models were actually ports that I did. And actually they are available on my old website, which is still up, acecox.net. And Gary's mod. And then you can these are just from an MMO. There's a bunch of spaceships and weapons and enemies from the game. So I never did a video with Pony after my initial video, but that was just for testing purposes. So, and yeah, basically. So, but that one, because I just wanted something without bones, and ponies have bones. Unless I wanted to have a pony, like, statically flying through a canyon. So, yeah, I mean, I get asked that, how do you make things smooth and detailed a lot? And I have covered it before. It's really hard to show because a lot of what makes it smooth isn't as much knowing how to make it smooth, but how to make it realistic. I mean, it's knowing how somebody's motion is supposed to go. So I can't really say in a general sense. Sometimes it's situational, but a lot of it is just what I notice a lot of people do is they don't show reaction and impact. So I can load up an example anyway. This one's probably gonna be the best. Who's that? Does she have a gun? Whatever. I have so much like random models and I have no idea how I got them. So I'll just let up normal Derpy. And my model of Derpy is unique. Oh no, this I need her. Alicorn closed. I recompiled her for the one video with. Oh no, she doesn't need. No, she does need normal links for this. And you give her a horn too. She got a horn. Oops, the one overrides. I think that's just called Destiny. Derpy Destiny of Fall. I don't know what my reaction would be if a actual pony came up. Well, it wouldn't matter what question they'd ask, they'd have to answer a few of mine first. Okay, so this is all the animation from Destiny. So this is final animation stuff, but I can kind of show it. Not as much of how to make, but the how to make isn't as difficult as where to do it. So like, even just here, alright, there's a little bit of it. So when she goes to open her eyes don't just open. Her head actually does a bounce. Because it should be that to have something that's alive, they have to be moving. I mean, if you think about when you're just sitting still, even if you're not moving at all, something on you is moving. Whether it's your leg is bouncing, your arm's moving, like when you're talking, your hands are moving. It's not somebody just staring forward and talking. There's a motion to how they do it. So a lot of it is just like, when I try to figure out how I want somebody to act, is like I think of how I would act, and then I just try to interpret that to how a pony would do it. So like on here, when her eyes open, there's that feeling of her eyes are going to be a little off because technically it's dependent on the camera angle as to where she's looking. And it changes constantly. Ooh. What I've noticed here, when her head goes to move here, it doesn't just go A to B. It actually does a little bit of a dip, like oh, whose head am I? I'm grabbing Celestia's head, I think. Yeah. Like to go like this. To have you can see a little dip there, but in a lot of it is just reaction. So like, there's keyframes. You say I want to have her looking like this, then looking like this, then over here. But it's getting all the in between motion. Anytime there's a sharp turn, I'll usually like bring the actual model itself down a little bit. Since the camera was moving, I was a little more cheap in the animation here because I didn't need to bother with it. But this part, so like here, she just had surprise, so she actually just bounces back a little bit, and when she goes to look up, here there's a slight bounce downwards. It's because there's momentum for your head moving, and even like when her head churns, a lot of the times I'll have it turn, like when she goes to go this. That way to her right, she'll move a little bit to the left first as a build for momentum. There's just a little emotions. If anything, a lot of if you wanted to even take some of these animations, I believe. Let me see if I still have the Google Drive link. How do I get the link for it though? Can I just link this then? I think so. So, let's see if this works. Okay, yes. If you guys want, I'll link this in a sec. What this it has in here is actual entire video animations. So the cluster jack, don't book a twilight, find a way. I haven't updated this for a while, but I think this. Oh, this does not include Destiny. I'll probably have to add that. But it's basically the DMX of the per pony. So you can load this onto a pony. Better to do it specifically for the pony name. That's why, like on here, I give. That one should have stuff in it. Anyways, so it'll say my name, then Twilight, and then the name of the video. So it just says that that's for Twilight. If you load it on them, especially if you already lock the hairs, you can load up the animation that I used on there, and then just see how I did it. Because a lot of it, that's probably going to be how you're going to learn the most. Because it's hard for me to explain how to do it without being in the exact situation to do it. I've thought about doing it sometimes where. There, I'll like this now. There. So, I've thought about doing it before, where somebody would send me a DMX for something that they're working on or they finished, and say, "What would you do to this?" And just for like a small little, like, you know, a couple second bit, and to have me play with it. And so I've thought about doing something like that, because I think a great way to learn is do what you can do, and then say, okay, what would you do differently? They found me. But I do want to update this more, because there was originally I was going to do a lot of these, and but it takes a while to go and combine scenes and export ponies. Yeah, Wii U. But a lot of it just comes down to is if they're is keeping body movement, because a lot of what I see is when ponies are talking is all the motion is done through like the head, and that's it, and the rest of the body doesn't move. But even like here, you can see even when the head moves, you can still see all the pixels, even up to like specific pixels, do not change here. What helps is having a moving camera. So having something that's just slowly moving across the scene kind of gives you can have certain things not move, and it gives a feeling that they are moving when they're not. That's why almost everything I make, you'll see the camera was moving at least to some degree. Some people had like a camera shake and then smooth it out, which is okay, but it depends. That type of camera use is, I think, very specific, because a camera with a shake, and what I mean by a camera with a shake is if I took all of this, added jitter, and then smooth. Like that. Maybe not so strong though. And it's really hard to tell, but what it... Oh, let me actually move the camera. That'll help. So it's giving the camera a wobble. And the wobble it gives a feeling of like you actually are the camera, like that imperfect moving feel, like you're in motion with them. Sometimes that's useful, sometimes it's not. Not every shot you want to make it feel like you're personally standing there. If it's in a place that you normally wouldn't be able to stand, like so when the camera is up here, having the camera shake is a little weird because you don't want to make somebody feel that they are floating in the air. But if the camera is down at this level or something, or up here, you know, sometimes it can actually come in handy, because then it does make it feel like you're actually with them personally. Dota contest entry? I don't even know about anything with that. There's a Dota what? Okay, what question? Sorry. Go to a Dutch brony meet? Well, that would be very expensive to go to a Dutch brony meet. I'm kind of in the United States, so it hasn't been something considered for that reason. I know a lot of people that create pony models. it's but I don't tend to do custom requests because I have so many things going on right now that if I request something for a video I want to do it, by the time I get to finishing it, who knows. So yeah, I don't make custom requests. I tend to just try to, there's so many different ways to mix and match on it as it is. You don't need to worry about oh, go away, Derby. So the only one I'm waiting on right now is Steel Hooves, but that's in the works. So, but even then, it's gonna it's still gonna be a while before I can get around to using him. You guys are asking a lot of questions. Try to keep up. Yeah, if it needs to be uploaded by July 13th, I can guarantee you I would not be able to do it. That is, for one, if it's a Dota movie, it requires knowledge of Dota. I know nothing about Dota other than that the name is 4 letters and they have nice particles. And what's the other thing? And I have way too much to do between now and then. This week's kind of my, like, I can half-ass week because of the cons and whatever. I need to give my brain a break, but starting like Sunday or Monday, I'm really starting to cut down on getting stuff done. And yeah, I'm doing more FOE. Actually, I got one started. I don't think I have it in my previous, no. I'm gonna, Omega, I'll get back to yours in a second because the next one's easier. The Slice of Life episode, I liked. It was a lot of pandering, but it was an episode made to pander, so I think that's cool. Plus, and I don't know if you guys know this, Emily Larson, because I was at MLP MSP, so they did a premiere of the episode at MLP MSP. He actually said the idea for the episode, originally he wasn't writing it. I think it was Andy King Rogers originally writing it, and then he got it later. When they said we're doing this episode, he's like, I don't think it's a good idea. Emily Larson didn't think it was a good idea. His mind changed later when he saw how it was going and says, no, this could be awesome. But originally it was Hasbro's idea to make the episode the way that it was, to have all the references for bronies. It was Hasbro's idea, which I think is really cool. For somebody that has, everybody is angry about how the way they deal stuff, that they actually decided to make an episode almost specifically for bronies. That was really cool. So I got a lot of points to them for that. But anyways, no, I'm not doing the entire FOE and SFM. No, I did the one thing. I have actually not done anything since then in terms of the radio play, because I know that as soon as I do one more anything, it's going to be like almost a requirement for me to do more like that. This is Void, I think. Yeah. It's going to be a requirement for me to do the whole thing, so I'm not doing anything more from the radio play. Let's see here. Okay, in terms of for beginners, do pictures. Pictures are great, because what pictures, like, all animation is a series of pictures. Like when you do keyframing, all you're doing is you're creating a position, a picture, and then another picture and another picture, and then you're just basically blending them. So if you want to try to learn to do animation, maybe not that one, but learn to do pictures. If you can make a good picture, you can make a good animation. It's just the next step up. At least that's how I see it. So play around with that. Get used to the engine. Don't have to play around with animation. You're just playing around with how to set up a scene, how to do lighting, how to do all that. Then when you feel comfortable doing pictures, jump in animation. I did the opposite. I started doing animation right away. I got lucky. But I recommend to really start with pictures. And look up rules on camera usage. Look up rules on photography, on how professionals do it, because really the same rules apply. I'm not doing anything with, well, Little Pit meets Witch Goddess. That can be a reference to two. No, I'm doing this video. I have to fix those buildings in the back. Actually, it just looks, the lighting looks different than originally. And it was with, so I gotta move some of those down there. The lighting doesn't look the same here. No. I don't know how I want to do this beginning. I think I'm going to change a lot of it. It's just going to be with Velvet singing this song. I started the lip sync, but... But I know, when I was talking with K-Cat, her idea was to have, halfway through the beginning bit here, have it fade to Pip, Calamity, and Velvet walking through a deserted area while it's raining. And I actually really like that idea, so I was going to have that fade until it comes up to this part. But then, because I've been working on the other parts, because this is going to be introduction to people parts, and I have a lot to do there. But then I had it where the song bits. It's the wrong map for this. Let me check this again. Grassland. This is black. There we go. Okay, and then that breaks the fog. That's the thing I'm looking forward to with Source 2, is it actually has innate fog controls built in, which is pretty cool. But I'm not doing anything with Source 2 until it's fully supported, because as of right now, I don't want to be working in one and the other. Plus, I don't have access to material overrides, and I have become like addicted to those. 62, 50, 25. Okay. It still doesn't look right. Oh, that was 3D Skybox. Hold on. I did that wrong. It's a very touchy bar. 50. And these aren't saved values, so I have to do them every time. There we go. So that was just with it. But even like here to, oh, that's missing some ground bits there. Because this is just the grassland. There's threw a lot of junk on the ground. But to even make it so that things go faster in the background, the skybox is spinning. And then I made some dragon thing. There's supposed to Cyber Dragon. I'm working on a thing with Zenith. Still, there's like no emotion on the face. I was working. Oh yeah, and there's like even I have like Pegasus. Oh, was that the old model? Yeah, that's the old one. This is this. I started working on this a long time ago. And I thought there was. Yeah, and then the end portion. What's wrong with the camera here? Oh, there it is. We're just gonna have the camera fade backwards. Building this scene took a long time. There's a lot of crap on the ground. That's a scene build. But yeah, I want to get back to working on this, but it's just too many other things going on right now. But I will be at some point or another. especially once Steel Hooves comes out, because to me, I couldn't finish or complete any type of Fallout video until Steel Hooves became available. Plus, I also was not really confident in myself in terms of fight scenes. And so now, after doing the Full Metal one, I'm a little more confident myself to make a fight scene work. And they take time, yes, but at least now I know I can do it. And that's what I need more of anything, was just confidence. Derpy did the Sonic Rain Boom. Oh, this it's the it wasn't the Rain Boom. What did they call it? It was the Rad Boom, I think. It's I don't want to do specific scenes because it's, for one, Rad Boom, there's no audio from that. I have to do it all myself. And if I'm going to do something like that, that's why I'm doing like trailer parts, because I can do lots of little scenes. Doing the specific little scene of like 3 seconds seems like a lot of work for something that really isn't that big. But I did plan on doing that shot at some point in there. I just don't know how I'm going to do the particles for it. It's really hard to figure out what I want to make them do here, because really a lot of it is just going to be them walking forward. Okay, I'm going to have her... Too short. Oh, the music back now. That is most of that stuff that was hidden before is still there. Oh my god, you guys are asking a lot of stuff. Okay, sorry, I'm doing a little catch up here. Okay, Omega. Yeah, I mean, well, thanks for the compliments, but yeah, I mean, like I said, jumping right into animation is tough. But if you can work on trying to figure out how to make pictures, that gets you so accustomed to everything. Really, when it comes to animating, if you know how to make pictures, you're already 80% of the way there, if not more. And then once you start getting in that, you know how to use the software, you know how to do lighting, you know how to do everything. You're just now making it move. So. But if you try to jump into animation right away, you're also trying to figure out lighting and wallet positioning, whatever. It's a lot to take in at once. So take baby steps. I mean, I've been doing it for 20-something years, so it's not like everything I'm doing right now is something I just learned within the last month or within a week. I've been doing it for months and months and months and months and months. So a lot of it's become second nature. I don't even think about the buttons I press anymore. It's just like completely. It's just. I don't know, I'm just used to it. It's like I don't think I have to hold Alt to spin in a circle. I just know. So, yeah, no, I love how it says click here to join and it doesn't let you. Angel Bunny's death. I don't even know what you're talking about with Angel Bunny's death. Really, I mean, I didn't. Angel Bunny hasn't died that I know of. No, I don't mind being questioned. That's not what I'm saying. It's just usually I don't have this many questions, so I just have to. But I appreciate everybody's putting my name in there because it makes a big black thing on my screen. I mean, this is what it looks like when you guys say something with my name on it. It makes it very, very easy for me to see things, and I do appreciate that. So I think I'm going to shrink this down. I want her to just look over to the right side for a few seconds, or like not even a second, and then shift back looking to the left, or this left, her right. But if I'm going to make her turn, I don't want to just turn the head. I'm actually going to take... But she's walking forward, so I can't really do much with chest too. But I'm just going to have it, the neck go down a little bit to the right, and then have the head. Let's go a little bit like this, I think. How does that look? I think I need to turn it more. So you need to actually have her eyes look that way. Because I don't want her looking at the camera, I want her looking to the side. And I mentioned this before, because you do have up, down, left, right at target controls as well as view target. I recommend that wherever she's actually looking, wherever attention is, keep that on the view target. Up, down, left, and right are very useful for giving a lot of life to the eyes, but if they're also where their eyes are pointing, it can make it very difficult to give that attention to them later. So it's always a good idea to try to keep that. Yes, that is a question. Yeah, Warhorse has been using SFM for a while too, so he can answer some questions too. But even I don't think that I'm gonna have all the answers too. I ask a lot of questions myself. I'm still learning, and I think that's good. If I stopped learning, it would get boring. In terms of what maps I recommend, well, this is the only custom map I've ever used. Like in terms of like one that I made. So this entire map I put together. Some of the models were like the poles themselves were from the Camelot War Games map. The flags I put together, I did the textures and the model for it. Not really a model, it's a plane. I did all the textures for the ceiling and those there. The floor textures are from the Camelot War Games. That texture's from online, I just colored it. The textures for the windows are from DeviantArt. I did the models for the flags that are hanging. That's my only model that I'm actually really proud of. It's not even that great. The door and the flowers, and when I say flowers, it is these flowers, were created by Gun Griffin and then fixed by Aggie because of an update to the software. So, but I mean, so this is the only real custom thing that's ever been done. Otherwise, it's Void and Grassland, or the Desert map. Desert Test, which has a grassland variant. Those are the only two maps I use because I like scene building. I mean, the entire Fallout thing, for those that weren't there when I did this, that one. Here we go. Okay, memory is still an issue. But like this entire Fallout one, or not Fallout, I keep saying that because it starts with an F. The Full Metal one was completely done with scene builds. There's only, I think, a couple situations where I use something that's not... Actually, it's all grass. Though there's Flat Void I use, which is just a flat thing. It's really all empty, and I filled it. I do want to make a behind-the-scenes video for this because there was a lot of weird things I did. So, like, at the beginning here, this was actually just them put over a model that has the skin modified on it to make it animate to look like they're doing their thing with it. These were done in an empty room. To do a negative shadow, I had to use a negative light and then shined it across another secondary model here, since a negative light makes them black. So this model is actually... let me turn up the lighting here. That's this one. Yeah. So this light itself, you can see there it's moving the shadow, is actually a black light of sorts. If I turn it up, you can see how it does that. It was something I wasn't sure if it would work or not, because I was trying to figure out how to make a white shadow, and it worked. So And the same thing for making Twilight. But, and then there's an actual filter you can add in that makes black and white. So this is what it actually would have looked like with color. So, I don't want color, I want black and white. This entire shot was actually done in SFM. Again, scene build. And then I utilized some weird lighting techniques to get the things to work. So yeah, that actually, a lot of this looks like it was done in special effects, but no, this is a light that's volumetric, that's set back here further, and then when it goes to fall forward, it actually just decreases the min distance. So it just looks like it comes and attacks the camera. So, this is a scene build within the void. Another scene build. Really, this wasn't even much of a scene build. It was literally just looking up at the sky. There is, I think it's in Half-Life, there's these actual sunbeams that you can utilize. Oh my god, they're amazing. You get some really cool effects of them. Well, that seems like it worked well. He was out in the sand map there. This was done in Void. Ignore Twilight's weird eye. But, this is literally just a big Void map with the green screen I had to put around it. I could not use the other one because I needed shadows. That's why this was difficult to make. This one, though... that one crashes it. No, it's not on sale. I'm not making anything kill Angel Bunny. Let me open that again. No, I'm just showing that you can, if you think, oh, I need a custom map to make this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can make, you can, all you need is a couple wall models, and really you can make anything. Especially with scaling. But the one here... yeah. Like for these ones, the ground itself isn't even the one that's the ground model. It's little, it's like these rock ground bits. So this all this one looks like. And then when this pops up, it's literally just the models going as far into, and then just a little lip curl up at the end to make it look like it keeps going up to infinity. But this is just a scene build too. I mean, it's just utilizing volumetric lights within certain distances. You can see how I placed them here to give it a feeling of distance when there really wasn't. It was just me playing tricks. And same thing when it swaps to this one. It was literally just rocks placed in the distance. And then here I started doing more yellow lights and then a green light above that to make it look like a rising sun. And then this, I think there's like nothing in this shot. Yeah, her leg's even busted. But yeah, these are all just scene builds. That's the scene build. And that's all it is. You don't need maps. Make your own map. That massive shot is in a separate file because of how many ponies are in it. These are all scene builds. Like, ignore that. I have a game disabled. Where is Twilight in this one? So I mean, this is literally just trees animated to go sideways really fast, And then Twilight just doing her fighting thing. Scene build. These are all in the void, but at least shows it's still here. Scene build. So, yeah. The possibilities are endless. I think this is in the void. I can't actually give you these maps because there's so many models involved with it. It would just be questions of where did you get this one, where did you get this one, where did you get this one, where did you get this one. Yeah, I don't hand out seed builds. It would be a lot of work for me to get somebody to figure it out where all the everything is. So I mean, this one is just in the void. I put the moon really high up, and really it's just to play with the lighting again. Though I spent a lot of time doing her jump, and then like, I was really proud of this Nightmare Moon jump. It's still kind of janky, but it's because it's freaking so fast. It's a 1 second of going, it passes, and she's like already over there trying to kick some ass. Right, this is why is this going weird? Oh, there we go. This is a scene build. I mean, there's really just boards over here. I didn't care. That's just in the whatever. This is in a room that's floating in the middle of nowhere. This is just a mountain scene build. I mean, really, it's just I made it all myself. So. What was the other one? Oh yeah, this one. Where'd you go? Yeah, I mean, making a night sky. I think that was all in the void too. That was just to play with lights as well. Oh, and that's just a re-render for some fixes I had to do later. Oh, the main hall thing for Canterlot. Yeah, that map I plan to fix up and release once the video is out. But until then, no. But even then, Gamer, in regards to that, yeah, it's the little details in the background that help blend things up and make them realistic are the small details that go unnoticed, and it's because they're unnoticed that they're important. If the background seems very excessively simple, it pulls the viewer too much to one direction, or it makes it almost, the simplicity of the background makes the background stand out. You don't want that. So sometimes it's having the detailed background that makes everything blend together correctly, and that's that blend that helps helps the viewer stay to what you're trying to make them look at. Because people don't look at detail, they see, or they don't stick. It's not details that stand out; it's oddities. So, ignore like pillars because of the change in lighting between the loading maps. It'll do that until I reload SFM. But no, because in terms of this map. The actual windows here are, and I gotta fix this problem, is there's just goes to the open to the outside and there's actually no map. It ends right there. There's nothing there. So, I mean, I can release the map, but there's still a lot of problems with it. Like, there's this model hanging there. There's a hole in the wall that I can't figure out why the hell there's a hole in the wall. There's the door is a separate model. But, so it may not be what somebody actually wants to use. Otherwise, right now it's just literally a square There's not really that good of lighting. I was considering putting it out, but also putting the source files for it out and saying, hey, here, if you want to fix it and make it better, you can have fun. No, actually, I do not like animating. I've said that before to people. I do not like animating. I think it's really boring and tedious. I like making videos, and it's just right now animating is my way to do that. Oh crap, I turned her head and it's saved that way. I didn't know if it's exactly what I wanted to have done, so that's why. But Gary's mod has almost as much power to make good pictures as SFM does. If anything, it might have more power. It's just that SFM is way superior when it comes to animation. No, I don't play Call of Duty. It's just that I ran across that song, and for the Easter egg song for Where Are We Going, and I loved that song, so that's why I'm using it. I felt it was very Fallout-esque. I want to have her droop a little bit here, because it implies almost like embarrassment or what would you call that? Shyness. And she's going in a situation that she's, I think, a little bit weird to be in, so that's why I want to have her be like that. Yeah, well, Gmod and SFM are the same engine, but Gmod actually utilizes some of the things the engine that SFM can't. Like, because Gmod works on a time, time is constantly running. SFM, when I'm sitting here like this, time is frozen. So SFM can't have physics, because how do you animate physics? Physics are based on, from this point to this point, something happens. But when I scrub backwards, how does it think about the physics in reverse? It can't. That's why the old SFM physics you had to simulate the physics. You had to give it time based on what is happening at this exact moment. What are the physics doing? So Gmod's kind of better in that regard because it allows you to have more live use of the physics. But it's because of the live use of the physics that you're also restricted on other things. So, no, I'm not making a Fallout Country episode. I do want to make some stuff based on Project Horizons that's not big, but just something small, because I've spent almost more time reading that, have spent more time reading that than the original, and I think Blackjack is a fun character, but it's more of, I wanted to do some kind of a small fight scene, something of sorts, but that's in the way future, because I have a lot of stuff before then. I pre-ordered Fallout 4 like within 5 minutes of it popping up on Steam. Literally, it popped up on my Twitter, Steam, saying Fallout 4 available for pre-order, and I had it done. I'm not getting the Pip-Boy version because to me, I think that's cool. But I actually want to get, because I have a touchscreen monitor. I want to see if I can get a app converter so I can run so I can run that app that they have for the Pip-Boy on my other monitor through my laptop because I can't have a touchscreen and the game running. But that would be pretty awesome because then I could actually have it where I could use the Pip-Buck, but on a 21-inch screen monitor. So Pip-Buck, yeah. Okay, at this point I want to have her. No, not here. This has got to be a transition thing. But I already set my time here. And I can't, because you have head movement, that's why I wanted to figure that out beforehand. I could probably just undo it. Not really. Oh, well, that's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot to upload that because I kind of went to bed after, or like not really went to bed, but I didn't feel like doing much. So yeah, I do still have to upload Tuesday's stream. I'll be doing both tonight, and I'll have them both up tomorrow. And here, even though she's technically looking at Celestia, I can't actually put the eye to Celestia because otherwise it like eats her head. So I just think it'll look close enough. I gotta put a little higher. I think that's still too early with that, but I have a way to fix that, so. More YouTube stuff, like that's kind of what I do, isn't it? No, what's my passion? To me, I like the cinematics and lighting. I like making things be pretty. That's details. I love doing the scene building a scene, setting up a scene, whatever. But when it comes down to the actual animating for it, then I kind of like, I've been trying to get more detailed stuff with animating so that I can try to like get find a way to meld the two. But yeah, that's why I like doing this, making pretty scenes, and then finding ways to make the ponies look good in them. But that's what I love it to do and spend more time on than anything else. Her eye's not melding there, is it? Oh, it's got a good amount of room still. We really using a head churning to look up to somebody, like here, but she goes to look up to Celestia and then it looks from that angle. That technically is a way to transition, is to make her head turn at the same moment that she goes to look up. But as I put that too early, and her head motion's already involved in that, so I can't really move it without ruining the head bob that was natural to her movements here. But I can make it work. No, I love doing pictures, but it's more of, I still love doing videos. I like the cinematography of it. Like, I can't do a moving camera on a picture. That's why I still like making GIFs and stuff, because it's basically making a moving picture. But that's why I also like using a lot of cycles or reusing animation to save time and so I can just make more picture-esque stuff. But no, I still like making videos and stuff. It's and it's more of I like to animate to get by, but I don't like animating to like super details if I don't have to. Chest 2 is animated on this. I might need to keep the shoulders locked for this though. If I don't, it might cause them to shift and wobble. But I mean, trust me, I have plenty of YouTube stuff planned. I have some anthology stuff I'm doing. I have the Fallout one started. I have a Luna one started. This one I'm working on. I have the Psychic Horse that I probably should go back and work on sometime. I ended up finding one video that I started like a year and a half ago, and I wanted to work on or finish, but then lost for about a year, and I just recently found it again. Though now that I look back on it, I probably won't actually finish it. So let's say timing for that is okay. Too fast. SFM can crash for a lot of reasons. If a model is corrupt, which if I go and search the word key on mine, it'll jump to a model that is corrupt and will crash SFM. I don't know what, I forgot what the model was. It is actually called key, but it just comes up if I do it. If I go over the amount of RAM, which is why I'm looking forward to Source 2 with 64-bit, down here, like it says, memory usage dangerously high. Cleanup shots to reduce memory usage. Well, I can't really do anything about that because it's not as much about cleaning up shots. As soon as you see a shot with a model in it, it loads it to memory and it's stuck there. That's why if I change between large files, I'll crash almost instantly. I've been changing because it maxes out memory. This gets to about 3500 is when it's at crash range, or it will crash. Alright, so now her head changes, but her eyes now need to blink to get rid of the eye movement. So I'm just going to choose two spots. I'm just going to 0, close, close. That'll work. Same thing here. That's why I like those bookmarks, because I can utilize that. Plus, now that this is already set, I can just play head at other eye's position, and it's the same. A little bit longer with the eyes closed. Okay. Playing Payday again. Payday's fun. I just kind of said that it's limited. You know, I could have 3 other people in there potentially. But the problem with that is it's a game that's very based on strategy. It's like if a troll gets in there, it kind of ruins everything. That's what I like, kind of like about TF2. And I don't really run much for game stuff because I just don't know how many people actually care about that. Because I've been playing Grav now, which is like Minecraft with guns and futuristic planet kind of thing. I was playing that yesterday. Grav is a lot of fun, even though it's in early access. But I mean, I play a lot of games. I just don't know how entertaining I am for them. Alright, so for her head movements, because I don't want her to just go A to B for her head move. I'm going to give it a little bit of a tilt. So this is what it comes down to, that smooth animation thing. So from here to here, I was going to pick some time in between. I want to have her head pull, go back, and just lean a little bit into the turn. It's too much movement. What project do I love working on? Really, it kind of depends on the moment. I love working on new ideas, and that's the problem with making large projects. That's why I kind of want to get done with some of the big ones I have planned, and then go back to making smaller ones. Or at least have one maybe large one, but then really focus more on the small ones, just have the big one back there as whenever I feel like working on, instead of the other way around, where it's work on the big ones, and whenever I feel like you work on the small ones. Okay, so... So she goes that way. I'm going to have her head go a little bit the opposite direction, up, tilt there. This is before she moves. So this looks very, very minor, but this does actually cause a difference. So it looks like her head pulls a little bit the opposite direction and then comes back for the turn. It's so minor that you would think it's not noticed, but it is. And then it's also making sure that her head keeps going a little bit to make it look lifelike. And then she hits the ground here, so I'm going to make it so that she goes down a little bit. I'm sure if the guards, their lighting's not taking up memory. So that looks like a pretty natural look. No, and I'm not doing anything with, if anything, before she starts here. I'm going to have the neck pull her down a little bit more here. Then I'm going to have it pull a little bit more down here. Okay. I do like the way the blinks are set up, so I'm going to do one thing with the eyes so that I can get because it adds a lot of life to the eyes. I'm going to figure out where these eyes' motion is. So here and here. I'm then going to grab the eye and I'm going to have them drop it down with the eyelid. Okay. Okay, so it does work, but here her eyes are still moving. When her eyes close, she's basically still looking forward. But as soon as her eyes open here, she needs to have the eyes transition to move, like going a little bit from the right to the left. So I'm just going to choose this bit here, and kind of the same way, but just for the second part of the eyes, I'm going to add a little bit. Since this is from the middle, a little bit of right, so that it comes to the left. There. It looks very minor, but you can see it here. If I drop it, it comes, so it's looking like the eyes are moving their way to that position as they're opening, and so it's usually when their eyes are opening and closing is the only time I try to show them transitioning between the 2 points. Other than that, no. Good night, warrior. But I think having the pupils go down with the eye blink, because in general, the thing that you would focus on the most in movies, TV, pictures, or anything is eyes. You are trained, your brain, it locks onto eyes. It is addicted to them. It needs them. And when a shot doesn't have an eyes in it, it allows the scene to open up more. But as soon as you have anybody's face in there, that becomes what you look at. So, like in this shot, if I were to keep this shot without having the black bars on there, I'd have a problem because her eye is showing here. So people are going to be, as soon as they look at her body, they're immediately going to be drawn to the eyes because that is what they're trying to do. But because of the overlay, I'm fine. When I disconnected her, the person you're going to look at is Twilight because you can see her face, and that's what you're going to look at. I just want to keep everything open so I can see what I'm doing. And so having motion in details to the eyes are some of the more important parts to have the details to, and that's why, like on, and I probably won't keep this exact shot, but like here, having a little bit of the light in the eyes here, you're adding a lot of detail to something that people are going to be focusing on, so that's important. That's why here having the eyes go down with it creates a little extra motion to them, so it feels like normal. Because if you actually like watch a human eye, when you like look in the mirror, it's hard to look in the mirror and yourself, but record your face while you're looking up and down and left and right. Your eyelids automatically adjust to follow your iris, so you should. And it's noticeable if the ponies don't do that. So that's why, like here, when that goes down, I'm just making kind of simulate that. But even so, if you're like, I think I did that a little bit in that other bit here. No, I think I was, and then how I changed it didn't work. But like even here, when she goes to blink a little bit, like there at the end, I should actually have the pupils go down a little bit because your eyelids and your eyelids and your iris are almost like locked together. They should be moving together. The actual TF2 models have that built in, where when the eyes move up and down, the actual eyelids will follow a little bit, which is more realistic than these. But it's really, well, it's a lot more difficult to do it when you have eyes that are almost as big as their head. So here, I'm going to do the same thing with her eyes here. I want to figure out where her eyelids are shutting. So right here. Drop them down. Oh, that's up. Down. I think a little bit more. I know the game Persona. I've never played it. The only time I've ever really seen it was whenever I was like popping on Holler's stream because he was playing it for a while. All right, same thing here. Her eyes are fine there. Well, they do get a little locked right at the last moment there, so I'm just going to grab a part of this and have it just go a little bit to the right. Yeah, I got rid of it a little bit. And then I'm going to grab this bit, and I need to have it come from the left. I actually went the wrong direction with that, didn't I? No, I got the right one. There. Now it looks like the eye is actually drifting into its position. I'm going to wait on that because I'll have some things I want to do with the head there. So for transitions here, same. I'm going to do the main movement, then I'll do the other motion I wanted to do. Is that I'm just kind of randomly throwing out things to make it to try to make it feel good, but I don't want it to move too fast. What do I look for in a story? That changes a lot. I like romance, but it has to be a romance that works. If it's a shipping story, it has to actually be a ship that makes sense, not just one of because they're my waifus. If I like how it's hard to say. Like, I've been reading a lot of adventure ones, but some people are really good at it, other people aren't. Like, Australia is one of my favorite ones, but it's hard to explain what category that would go under. Nice. To me, it's the motion editor and the graph editor can be used in conjunction. It's not like you have to use one or the other. They're not exclusive tools. They're supposed to be technically used together. So you can use the graph editor to make the base animation, the keyframes, and then you can use the motion editor to edit it or to add extra stuff on top of. That's, I think, almost the best use of them. But it's not use one or the other. That's how I see them as, anyway. To me, it would be pretty stupid of them to make them exclusive tools. It's a lot of work for just styles. The problem is, I don't like about series is I'd be stuck to doing the same thing. One of my favorite things to be able to do is random. Like I constantly get to change whatever I'm doing and try something new. A web series wouldn't allow me to do that. Plus, it's a lot of writing and then voice acting, whatever, and then fit to a schedule. It'd be a job, and I don't like thinking of this stuff as a job. I think she's whipping her head too hard, so I'm trying to smooth that out a bit. That's the other thing I don't like about making really long videos, is that, especially if you're learning a lot, if you spend a lot of time, if you're trying to learn how to do it, to work with SFM or anything really, and you go and start some large project, I can almost guarantee you that by the time you get finished or even near finished, you're going to look back and say, I can do that better now. And then you're going to spend all your time remaking things. So while you're learning, start small. That's why posters are kind of nice, because as soon as you go to you can have an idea and finish it in like a week or less, instead of having an idea that you think is amazing, working on it for like 3 months, getting a better idea or another idea that you think would be even better, diverting yourself to that because now the project you were working on was boring compared to it. Yeah, I ran into the problem where I was starting too many things. That's actually one of the reasons I really didn't get into working on doors, because I started so many things and I had to put a cut on it. I couldn't start adding more. So when they suddenly said, hey, we're making this thing, I'm like, I can't put any more to my list, or I'm going to burn out, and I don't want to do that. I'm thinking I might move things around so that it spaces out her motions here a little bit more. Ideas are actually, I've had people before, they're like, well, if you haven't wanted an idea for something, let me know. I'm like, ideas are not the problem. I have way too many ideas. It's the time needed to do them that's the problem. Like my sister, who's probably listening, hello. I've give her some of my ideas for art to do, because I'll come up with them in a couple seconds, because I'm like, these are ideas that I think would be really cool to do, but I don't have the time to do them. I like how she's moving, but I don't like how fast it is. Um, I'm pretty sure there is Warhammer models. Because I've seen people use them before. There's particle systems. I'm subscribed to them apparently. Particles are nice. But I know I've seen them before. No, that's not it. I know I've seen Warhammer models. I just don't know where you get them. Besides the work, SFM has been my only hobby for a while here. I haven't really done much else. I like gaming and stuff, but I haven't had the time to really put into it. I'm trying to do it game a little bit more because it is a way to get my head off stuff. I like reading. Actually, a lot of ideas I get for videos and stuff or come from being inspired by stories. Yeah, well, I mean, you could, if they're on Gary's mod, you should be able to get them in SFM. Same engine and all. Well, blink. It should have a blink anytime an eye is changing direction drastically. I mean, even you do it to a degree. If there's nothing you're paying attention between 2 points, you do kind of do that. But it also helps break the transition of the eyes. It may seem like a lot, but as of right now, you're literally focusing on it. That's like because that's what I'm working on. Outside of that, it actually is a lot more natural. It's just I always had that problem of I look at something and go, this doesn't look right. Well, it does. That's why I'll get to a certain point in something and I'll stop it. I'll come back to this tomorrow. Once my head is cleared out and I'm not used to seeing things as much, like after constantly working on something, it helps a lot. I might see something that I didn't expect to, or I might go, well, this does work, and never mind, and ignore what I was thinking before, or go, oh wait, this doesn't work, crap. Okay, yeah, fix it. So, Such a Royal Guard fanfic. Oh, is it that To Love a Mortal? I did want to do something based on that letter, but I really never got around to it. That was about the point where I was like, I've started too much. I have to start cutting things off. I wish I could have her be looking that direction more. This may not work, but I'm kind of going to do it anyway. Yeah. It actually does work. Hey, if you guys want like recommendations for stories from film fiction, Jesus Christ, I can give you stories. What the hell is that? That guy is dancing. I have 11 pages of favorites on here. You'll see a lot of Twite Ash. I like Twite Ash. But there's some just really, really good stories. And if you want a sad story, read this one. I Miss You. That if you don't cry by the end of that, oh my God, you are a horrible person. I just remembering that, I was like, but I mean, yeah, because you can just look me up on I mean, it's a pretty easy to find my name on here. Oh, look at me. But just if you, and look, I have followers. I don't even do books, but I have followers. But if you go on here, and I think you can see what my I think you can pull up my favorites. But anyways, you go through those and just kind of play around with them. I'd probably start with my older ones first because those are some of the better ones. But if you want an actual recommendation, give me a type of story that you're looking for, and I can probably give you a good one. Yeah, well, if you're reading 50 Shades of Grey fanfic, you're probably you're already looking to be disappointed. But no, if you're looking, no, I'm not making a fanfic. I'm not a writer. I do have two that I'm planning that I want to do videos from. One is this one. I actually started a video from. Because Bluebird Song is a really, really cool, really nice story. And they're hugging. But that one's highly recommended. That was one of the first ones I read. It's back in 2012. And then, obviously, there's the radio. I spelled that wrong. There we go. No, I thought I spelled that right. I'm gonna feel really bad if I can't spell that right. That's not right. Whatever. I have an easy way to get to it. Because it's constantly going, it's a really long story made by Imploding Colon, which is actually just a pen name for something else. And then some people did some fan art from it. I love that picture. But yeah, Australia is an amazing story, and I actually want to make like a trailer-esque thing for it. That's how you spell it. It's A before E. Okay, really good story. Land West Flies East. That's all you get for a description. Read it if you want something longer than Project Horizons. These are all the books that are included with it. It's on book 7 of 12 right now. So, but yes, read that. That is my favorite one. I don't use a rig for the ponies. That would be nice. I can't really help you with that. Non-perverted TF2 fanfics? Not that I know of. Actually, you know what? I think I've seen some that aren't, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, this is people doing weird things. I think I still want to delay this a bit more. Maybe delay this a bit. Because I want to have it so that when she that her head move is a transition. Time zone wise, I am in Central USA. CST. Okay, I need a little bit more moved. A little bit more. I don't mind the eye opening just beforehand, but I need to make sure that her head keeps moving as it goes through. Let's see how that looks. Looks good. Ever free Northwest time zone. I don't think that exists. But that would be Western. Later? Let me see what I have. I have a lot of models, so I might be able to find something you don't see. Or I can crash it. We'll try this again. I've had to remove games. That's why I'm getting a lot of errors on some things, because I have too many models. So I have had to disable some. It stands for Friendship is Magic. That'll probably be answered before that audio gets to you. So make sure everything, yeah. Favorite fanfic of all time? That's actually really difficult. As of right now, Australia is probably my favorite. It's still going. He writes a chapter, if not two, almost every day, that are like 2,000 to 3,000 words long. I don't know how he keeps writing that pace. And every book is 200 chapters, and it's on book 12. It's a great story. It's one of my favorites. It's a very intimidating story. There's a Zippo lighter. What's this one? That's props face movie. That probably doesn't have much. Oh, it does have internal props. But I think this one's better because it doesn't have that shiny glass to it. Wait. Just want to see what bones exist on it for editing. Got the lid. That. The spinny thing. Oh, that's just the main bit. Yeah. But I think that is on the workshop. Yes, Zippo lighter. Yeah, let's go to the workshop. Bam. Oh, I think you can just search me. And then you can see all the amazing stories I don't write. I think you just go up to the top and search my name. Oh no, I think it's already in, and then do users. There we go. And then I come up with one of the first ones. Look at all them demons. We're all a big family. I'm the Argo demon, but they are the mouse demon. So, yeah. And then you can just go, I think, like I said, I'm not sure, but you should be able to access my my favorites. If you can't, I might be able to link it or something. What have I done? I didn't do that. Somebody put me as the creator. I didn't make that. That was Adam. Why am I put on there? Yeah, somebody put my name in there, but it wasn't me that made that. Adam the Amazing 64 did that. Somebody should fix that. I hope somebody actually mentioned that. Probably not, so. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know who put me in the tags, but that is 100% definitely not me. That was definitely an Adam. No, yeah, well, I can be crazy enough. Adam is just, like, slightly demented. Like, frick, on the MLP MSP panel, after he shows his... Well, Adam, have you released the pancake video? I don't think you've even put the pancake video out. Actually, the, Golden, the, No Meat Ogra, that name, I've actually used it before. Because it's actually, it looks like a legitimate name backwards, and it's, and then if I need to just, like, pretend I'm not me. So I've actually used that before. Okay, yeah. So Adam made this pancake video, and after we showed it at the panel, I asked him, like, "What is wrong with you?" Because it was just where he just suddenly comes up with some of that the weirdest crap like that. No, I've never played on an MLP role-playing server on Gary's mod. I had some people trying to get me to play on the Fallout one, and I've thought about jumping on there at some point, but I never got around to it. Oh, Adam, where link? We need a link to Owl Jesus. Find it. Get me link. You have exactly 10 seconds. Which is like a request you cannot make by the time you hear this. Okay, so okay, it's turning out a lot better. Having that pause there helps, but I do need to give her eyes a little bit. I don't stop with your addiction. Okay, I'm gonna find Owl Jesus. We will find Owl Jesus. I don't. Is it on your DA? So I'm gonna say Adam Owl Jesus. Is that all I need? No. That is. What is this? That is not Owl Jesus. That is very magical, but it is not Owl Jesus. I guess I will have to find the Adam. And go to Gallery. Where's there it is. Oh Jesus! Behold. When we were at the Everfree panel, we're going through person by person, and I had his flash drive in, and Pika looks over and he says, "What is Jesus.png?" So he's like, "Oh yeah, you can open that," and just like this completely nonchalant, we opened this thing, and it cracked me the hell up. And so PD ended up drawing a picture of Owl Jesus quickly, and it was amazing. And Bird Jesus, you have to change his name. It's not Bird Jesus, it's Owl Jesus. And he was originally going to cosplay at MLP MSP as Owl Jesus, but he didn't. But it is an amazing picture. And you don't even have a download button. What if somebody wants this? What if they want to make this their phone wallpaper? What if they want to like say, "I want to look at Owl Jesus," or this weird bird guy who seems very disappointed in the fact that he's got a cheeseburger. But no. Why you gotta be restricted, man? There does definitely need to be more Owl Jesus, though. His arms are broken. Those are bad models. Like, his arm is, like cockily broken. I don't even... Their fingers are amazing. Looks like something from, like, Final Fantasy VII. Nah, right-click save image isn't the same, because sometimes you get a bigger one. Owl Jesus is the best picture ever made. Actually, you know what? Here, I know how to make this better. Okay, we shall improve the picture. Wow, that is horrible. Maybe like 32. There we go. Pimp Owl Jesus. Okay. Okay, so that part's fine. This is not part of it. Probably should grab my weight gum. And okay. There. Oh, Jesus. And then... Ooh. There, we got like a glowing Jesus, and let's see here. What else can we do with? Oh, actually, you know what? I probably should have. Can I reselect? Select pixels. So I have that backwards. The burger will be blessed. Hold on. One burger at a time. Actually, that probably should duplicate this again before doing that then. I don't want to ruin the original. So, this is very, very, very important stuff. Okay. There. Because it's not copy pasted now, I can actually refine edge. We must make this perfect. Yeah, they call it refined mask now. Doing that a bit. This is the outer glow. I want to do a little bit of inner glow. And then I think I'm going to make it a little bit darker so that I can at least see what's going on. The same color. Maybe I got to switch to multiply. So I want to be able to see, oh Jesus. There, pulls out his edges a little bit. Okay. Just there. We need to get that burger now. Way too high tolerance there. Oh, so it's funny. If none of you have heard about Next Week Tonight or something, it's John Oliver's show or whatever. So there was the guy that did the trailer music for the trailer for the my channel. He didn't do it for that specifically. In no way. I just found the song and it worked well. He ended up having it on the episode, so this I feel weird that, and now the trailer music I had was on a big network show. But because I was I'd be like, this is my trailer's music. But I'm glad for the guy, because it was it's an amazing song he made for the or just made randomly. And I mean, I used it for my trailer. I know other people have used it for similar, and then that popped up. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I just hope I don't get that now. Isn't that the song used in blah? The Last Week Tonight, yeah, that was a really funny episode. All right, so now I need to duplicate, make a burger layer. Okay, now we have a burger. And I can make it a bigger burger. You could be like, bam, give me that burger. How did that work? Yeah, I went the wrong direction with that. Whatever. And I'm gonna make it glow. I'm gonna go to the inner glow. And screen, is that what this one is? Yeah. And then, oh, I know what we need. I know what we need. Okay. Duplicate. And then, okay, put that there. Then we will do. Okay. Oh, I didn't keyframe that, did I? No, I didn't. Well, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so position there. Okay. Wait. Oh yeah, there. And then this the other way there. No. There. It should. Oops. Why are you not working? Should be moving. Where's the... No, the mask wouldn't be changed. Unless it's not letting me because of it's being a mask. No, this isn't a mask. These are shapes. It's not letting me spin them. I want to have spinningness. Could make it a GIF. That's what I'm trying to do. But I don't know that much about After Effects. One thing I can think of is that yeah, that probably is what would do it. Really loud music outside. It's still not animating. I am very sad. I wanted a spinning cheeseburger thing. Not really sure why it's not though. Maybe if I just rasterize. Because I know I've done it before. Oh, I know why. I know why. I'm being stupid. Okay, so how wide are these? This is... So where's the midpoint? Is this the midpoint? I'm going to say that's the midpoint. Yes, it is. No, it's not. That's the midpoint. Okay. So I'll say position, position, and position, position. I know why. It's because I need to do it half at a time. God damn it. Down there. Because it's not spinning because it's just reverting back to its original position. So I'll do half. Oh, I gotta do it. I gotta do it here. So this is this one at this position. If I do that. No, it's still not doing it. Stupid. Stupid. We will make this work. It has to work. We need a cheeseburger with spinnings. Does that work? No. Well, I'm just gonna rasterize the whole thing then. Where did my things go over there? I tell you to go over there. You must be one with the cheeseburger. Okay, I have position locked, which I'm pretty sure involves rotation, or does it not? And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing, which is probably part. Okay, that works. Why can't I do rotation? Yeah, I want the rotation. Now that is some stupid. Do I have to add something to this? And then I'll go back to making sure, yeah, there. How do I make it rotate? I want spinnies. That makes me really sad. Is it just their way of saying no, mountain god? No, bad? I just want to spin a burger! Ah! That makes me really sad because that would have been so stupid. Look at her. Look at it. And we know what. Okay, screw this. Go away timeline. Okay, so now I need some laser beams. Whoa. Not there, though. There we go. Ah. Those are derp laser beams. Yes. No, maybe. So lasers, yes. All lasers. Oh, I was gonna make them talk. I'd have to edit though. Yeah, screw that. What did I do? No. So yeah, I made a picture. And the holy bread. Here, I'm gonna be done with that picture. I don't care. But I was saving for anybody that wants laser face. Was a laser owl Jesus. Why is this taking so long to save? It's just a freaking owl with a burger. Oh, somebody's cooking outside. It smells really good. There we go. There. You all can have... There's no lens flare. Think about lens flare. No, do we need lens flare? I believe it's screen. Yeah. To the right. Good enough. Well, you know what? To me, After Effects is great for some post stuff, but it's not required. I love having it, but yeah, I'm not going to say that it's something that if you don't have, you can't make videos, because you definitely can. It's just that it's a great supplementary thing. But no, SFM's tools in general aren't the greatest, so I wouldn't say that they're going to replace anything. But yeah, I don't like that with that. I kind of just like it like that because it's just so stupid. So we're going to keep it with the original. Ah, well, Jesus. There. But all credit still goes to Adam. Have anyway. Imatune's though is so simple. Like if I were to make something like that, it would be a lot of. I'd still have Uncanny Valley to work with. His, at least when models are standing still, they still look like they're animated because 2D is a little different in how it does stuff. Keep that down there. Look at what we're doing here. Oh yeah, I was working on a video. Oh no, I am not doing any Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. For one, I don't play it, and two, it is so overdone. There is so much of it out there. I am not touching it. I have too many other ideas. I have other things I'd like to get done before even considering adding other ideas. Yeah, back on track, kind of. See. Back on track. should actually save that. You know what? I'm gonna do whoop. Like, Slanty, I can't see where I'm going. Can you help me? It's like she's got one of those like Chinese hats. Where are you, Twilight? Where are you, Twilight? There you are. You're hiding. She's shy. Oh. Somebody get me a haircut. Favorite Halo game? Ooh. I've stopped playing Halo after Halo 3. So if I had to take it, yes, Halo 3 is my favorite. I spent more time on Halo 2. I used to do, I don't know, guys, for those that are newer here, I actually used to do Halo photography. I spent a lot of time in the community doing these pictures. I don't have many left. About 300 of them that I had are gone forever. But I used to do like just like pictures where I learned a lot about photography and cinematography. Was looking into a lot of stuff. I used to have a modded Halo or modded Xbox for Halo 2 that allowed me to do specifically for pictures. Oh, these are some of the. But that's Halo 2. Yeah, it's one of the few ones I have left. But I used to go through is where I started learning how to do Photoshop, so you can see the difference between the two. What's the other ones here? Oh, these are just huge panoramic shots by taking multiple shots and putting them together. Yeah, you can see on the edges here how they got merged. So this is before edit. But I still go through and clean it up. But I used to do Halo 2 photography a lot. Those are mine. Like a lot. I think I like that one. That was my hat. I had the marathon helmet in the first week. He just doesn't fit in there. What am I doing with my life? I liked that one too. But yeah, I used to do a lot of that. I took like 400 pictures, 300 or 400 pictures from Halo 2. These corrupted? No, they're not. Okay. But most of them are lost forever because the website that was hosting them went down, and the website that hosted them was down, and then the website that was sharing them went down. So. Oh no, because you can lock the camera to a character, so just like with anything else. Like so, for instance, I'll make a new camera here. I don't want to make a running pony for an example, so I'll do something else instead. So let's say that here I want to maintain this look at Twilight. I can take this camera and lock it. So like by dragging head here. Actually, let me undo this so that I have no head scale. There we go. You can't get rid of a scale once it's added, so I'll get rid of it. So back to Twilight's head. So I'll take this. No, that's in the wrong shot. So I want to have it here. So I can take her head and I can drag it onto the transform, therefore locking all of her head's animation to the camera. As soon as I go and do anything, it won't change because, as you can see, it inverted the motion to keep it in place. So all I do is pick the point where I want us to have it start following, which I'm going to say it's right here. And if I playhead this, all of it will become zeroed to this position. So now when I move, you can see the camera actually moves with her head, which is kind of creepy. But you can do that the same with like the body motion too. The other thing you can do is partial playhead. So say that this is the position you want. If I do a partial playhead, it'll move half of the way with the head and then maintain half of the stationary, like this. So in essence, I'm able to have her still look back and forth, but still maintain a little bit of play. So if I do like just a little bit of playhead, I can get a little bit of that camera shake that goes in with the motion. So, which is kind of cool. It's up to you kind of how you want to do it. If I just do it like teeny bit. It's like adding camera shake that's matching with her head movements. Is it possible to keep it with the eyes? Yes and no. Because technically I can... I could lock it to the eyes position here. So, but in this one, playhead will lock everything to the specific playhead position, but it won't, if you want the camera to actually become the position of something else, you want to zero it. So in this case, I locked it at the eyes, but since the eyes is actually a position, I'm going to zero. Now the camera is in this exact same position of the eyes. I can still rotate it. As long as I go and look at Twilight here, the camera will always be where her eyes are now, but it does not include up and down, left and right. But now when her eyes the rotation's not fitting, but these should still be, yeah, it's still changing, so I have to do this. The rotation won't fit match. So as long as I go through and re-rotate this, okay, so I'll do that, and then it's like she's staring at me. What are you doing? That's actually kind of interesting. And then camera 2 and camera 3. But this does allow it when the camera's locked like this. It does mean that. Oh no, and that's what I'm going to do. Other way around. So say I can unlock the camera here. I can lock the camera to the eyes, and if I do that now, anytime I move the camera, the eyes will actually move with the camera, which might almost be a little bit more useful than that. But, and again, you kind of hit your limits. If I go too far this way, the eyes can't follow. That's kind of weird, just shot right there. So I'll make sure that I have all locks undone before I do anything. There we go. So that's a little bit. That's about the most I'd be able to say for being able to lock the eyes to it. But like I said, up and down and left and right controls won't be affected, and there's no way to lock it like that. I'm just checking, make sure I got all the questions here. Oh, in terms also with the camera following, like, because when you zero something, it's zero to that thing's position. So, like, if you have a camera locked to a model that's running, it'll stay in that one position. But any motion you do after that, it will still be locked to it and just make those motions within that lock. Because when you lock something, it's basically saying that that's Bone's position is its zero position within this new universe. So they move to 1-to-1. But if you move anything within that one, it'll act like it is moving at a stationary position, but with that other model. If you understand that, because this video, like when I did the camera for her, this is old as hell. The camera was locked to her, but then I just went and like shifted the camera around and moved it to better positions for what I needed, like here, up, down, left, right. But it was still locked to her the whole time, and that allowed me to at least make sure that the motions themselves were still fitting. But that's the point of this video, was for her to actually me learn how to, for one, make a pony run within a long distance like this and make it look okay. Which I still, now I'm seeing a lot of problems as I watch this. But also I wanted to figure out how to do the lock and camera thing. And I think it turned out pretty good in regards. Wow, that video's old. That was like my third video ever. So that's you can, just because you're locking into them doesn't mean that it's going to be you can't play with the camera at that point. And actually, to show one thing here, let me make sure I'm not saving something broken. No, I'm doing fine. The Twilight is adorkable, which is, AJ wasn't going anywhere. She was just running. A lot of the first videos I made were tests, because I needed to figure out how to get the software to work, and so I just had other people watch it. No, in this one, the camera work here was really interesting, in that I actually have. Oh, I have to do this shot. I have a camera helper. There is because the camera only has the one bone, I used this camera helper. If you watch the, if you look at this closely, the actual camera here, this helper is what moves it to the main position, but the camera itself moves away. So I have a helper, which is a model the camera's locked to, that did all the main spins and would stop at that position. And then I use the actual camera itself to animate the smaller motions in between, because doing small motions in the middle of really big positional motions like that don't turn out right, or they don't meld right. But by separating it to animate the camera, and the camera having two bones, the root and the model's main bone, and then the camera's bone, that's three different bones to work with, it actually allowed me to make the motion a lot smoother. It was a little more difficult to do the initial motion, but once I got that down, it was actually way preferred. Alright, bye Adam. So this is just the camera moving, and then the helper moving it to this position, and then it's the camera just moving a small position again. And I think you can see here, yeah, you can see here it's the slight motion of the camera from the right to the left, and then it resets its position back while it's going around to the base bone position of the helper, and then it does the right to left again, and then it resets again, and it just keeps repeating like that. And then when I did the reverse shot, I really had to do some playing around to get that to make this go smoothly backwards like this, but still maintain a central point. It's Source Filmmaker's free. It's on Steam. So I mean, if you just go to like Steam and type in Source Filmmaker, it will be like, look, a thing, and then you can play. It's 100% free. It comes with a lot of the assets, and actually, if you go into the game itself and then go to properties, there is DLCs at the end here that you can add that are free. They're DLCs that contain content from games that you may not own, and then you don't have to own them to use them. So it's actually pretty cool that they let you do that. Yeah, it is a bit of a big one. I mean, hell, how big is mine now? Let's see. 170 gigs. But also that's excluding all that that has a lot of renders in it still. But I mean, if you go and just look at the renders that I have sitting on my external, that adds up a lot quicker. And so that's completely separate. I still have to go back, and now that the Full Metal one's done, I have to move all the renders to this. Why is the other one so quick to figure out sizes? Oh, there it goes. 107. This is just renders. 212 gigs. 228. A lot. It's gonna keep going. Oh wait, 343. Yay. And then live streams take up a large portion of it too. I mean, it's just live streams and renders, and that hard drive alone has 2.25 gigs. Yeah, any models you add are just going to add up. Oh, I didn't break the lighting. Nice. And what I technically want to do here is I'm gonna make this a new camera. Is when her head goes up like this, I want the camera to kind of follow with it. Bring a bit more. Mainly because I want to have it, oops. I want to have it helps transition a lot to have the camera follow with the movements of the head like that. And I'm going to do, this is going to be fades. It's a fade, I just call it fading because you're basically fading the camera between shots. The same thing here. So I'll have the camera start low and fade higher. But I want it to drift off. I don't want it to just stop at that position. I want it to same thing on this side. That's why I start with the spiky version, or the spiky, the slow, and then it gradually picks up. So it's very subtle, but it helps transition. think I really want to... Her lighting here is okay until she turns. And then it's like suddenly she becomes the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I can figure it out later. Oh, lighting bleeding through the walls, but not noticeable. She's got 2 eyes. Just go crazy. Okay, so just walking forward. Probably don't need to do anything. Oh yeah, Celestia's face is invisible here. I almost feel like in this shot, Celestia should be a little bit further forward. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it like that. Because it helps space it out. Because when we use the changing the aspect ratio to this down like this, I have to keep things spaced out a little bit. So, and I maybe should take the camera. I'm going to do both, and just move it a little bit this way, just so that it keeps it more towards the center. Okay, maybe not so much. That'll work. I'm very serious moment. Ah. That looks kind of painful, actually. But she should be happy. I'm gonna make her. Yeah. I know, that kind of made it worse, actually. But that's fine. What the? What the? The tongue just stays in place. That's weird. I actually don't use Tumblr. I have a Tumblr account just for the purpose of not having my name tracked, but besides that, I've never used Tumblr. I don't follow anybody on Tumblr. I don't do anything on Tumblr. I am not Tumblr. Let's change the context of this, like, drastically. I love how easy it is to just swap things out. I don't think his mouth is more neutral, and he needs to be. Well, his eyes are just slightly different. What they're in their naming convention. I don't want to deal with the closing thing though. But I mean, it's so easy to just copy, paste. So, I mean, it is. it's not exactly the guard doesn't work the best using the female flexes, but whatever. I forgot to do that, yeah. Da, da, da. I remember when it was bad, I said yes. What's up? What's up? Actually, I almost feel like the lunar guard here should be like... I fix the mouth. I thought there was different size eyes for the guard. I guess not. Okay. Doesn't have wide either. That's why the female, making a female one is better. Or is this the old guard? No, it's VN. So there's an updated one. That's kind of a funny look too. But mommy, nope. But yeah, it's so easy to just swap out things like that. Oh, Celestia kind of looks cool with the Nightmare Black mixed in. Though it's gonna like splotchy randomly all over the place. In actual animation, it looked kind of cool there. I kind of want to get her blurred out a bit, but I don't think there's a way to do that without drastically destroying... Oh, the camera's not even positioned on them. Oh, almost. But if you're going to do a high aperture, it's to put the focal point just behind the point of focus, not in front of. I found that out pretty quickly when I was playing with insanely high aperture on that Full Metal one. Because the things in front of it stay clear for longer than the stuff if you put the focal distance in front of it. I don't know why. Alright. What I'd probably do is have it stay on the focus on her for a second and then shift the focus to Celestia. But then at least it blurs her out a little bit, just enough to make it so that Celestia becomes the focus instead of Twilight, like potentially taking the focus a little bit. Oh, the quill. I think it was just a feather model. It don't search quill, search feather. But I don't remember where I got it. It might be from Dota. There, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's actually from Portal 2, Crow Feather. It made a good quill. Probably should check how this works with the audio. I don't know if is Portal 2 included in that DLC? Portal is. Portal 2, unless the Portal 1 that's mentioned on here includes Portal 2, which it could, as far as I can tell, no. But you should be able to just... It's not a drag and drop. Some of that stuff might need to be converted. I'm not going into how to convert the stuff because I usually just have to reteach myself every time I need to do it. Or not really convert. It's you have to use like GCFscape to access the compressed files and then just yank them out of there. That's the way it is with a lot of the newer Source games. Yeah, so I do want to add a lot more detail to there. Like here, I want her to actually like have eye twitching around it and doing some little small movements. But that's not what I'm worried about right here. All I'm worried about in going through these initially is getting the main animation done. Because I want to know where I want her to do things and when. So like here, for at least this pass through, I'd probably just consider that shot to be done. I think it's 150, 100. Well, I think it is for my orange. So that means that it's that shot is not really half done, but it is at least this pass through done. So, and if you guys don't know my naming conventions or you haven't been on before for it, or the bluish base color means that I haven't done anything with the shot yet, or I'm still working on doing the cinematic aspects. Red means I think I figured out the cinematics for it. I can start doing some animation for it. Like in this shot, technically, the guards are animated. I could technically change this one to orange. And then green is once the shot's completely done. So after orange, it's going through and making sure that everything is the way I want it to be. The hair's moving right. There's extra details are put in. The color, the lighting's done, all that. So that's like the cleanup, the finalization. But in here, this is just making sure that everything looks right. Because it might be that after this, this shot might, or not this shot, but like that I might like this angle, but once I start working with it, I might go, you know what, actually I don't. But I don't want to start doing like tail and hair and all that movement and then learn that afterwards. The only time I'll do hair stuff beforehand is if there's like a heavy wind element that by doing such it might heavily affect how the animation will go across, which the Full Metal one had a few moments like that. on. Yeah, that does sound like a very, very serious video. I might need to play with this because the hooves look a little... I love the walk cycle, but from this angle, they look weird. And this is like... Right here is like my favorite shot out of everything so far. There's just something about her looking up like that. And I don't even think she's centered. She's not. If you want to know how I determine centered, this little button right here, that center line for it, is technically the middle of the shot. So that's how I try to base things on. But I don't know, there's just, I don't know, there's something empowering about that shot. Of just that simple face just looking up and being like, bitch, I'm gonna freaking own you. Freaking door. Sorry, the camera kind of shakes here. So it's just going through the, clearing that out. Whatever. Ah, what's up? Well, this is like why I like doing the cinematic stuff beforehand too, because, like here, it actually works better having them move over sideways, and it still looks be transition between these two. You can't even tell that they moved. I still don't like this shot. I like the idea of having them turn to look at the door as a way of transitioning to it, but I just don't like how it leads up to. I don't know if maybe having it transition faster. I think I'm just going to keep it how it is and do a render for it, because a lot of it is like it's being blurred out here, but even then I feel like it's too, it doesn't stand out enough here with how they're lit from the back and how the door is lit from the front. It doesn't have an oomph to it. I might need to play with that a bit. What the fuck stuff is awesome? I mean, I got plenty of it here. I think it's, there's still... Not dead. Friends. Friends. You saw the arrow? Yeah, the arrow's back. Dead. Dead. I still wish that I kept the, I thought I did, the giant crazy Celestia thing. Let's Spike running in circles. And let's just chop chop. Dead Twilight. I just love how the head keeps moving after she stops. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of Cutlery. Fluttershy's main disagrees. It's like, fuck shit. It's trying to escape. For those that have been here, this is like weird crap that I did in the stream months ago. What's some of the other stuff? I thought, do I still have a bucket of flowers? No. What else we got here? Nom nom chicken. Nom nom chicken! Nom nom chicken! Nom 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 nom. There's a lot of blood. And then, yeah, then she got to jump on her food. But yes, that's nom nom chicken. Wait, his eyes are... Ah, they have LOE on them. Or LOD. So that nom nom chicken. And then... I usually put them in like a what the fuck folder or something. Oh, there's this shot I have with me on it. Ooh. Ah. This one has a few things, but I have to set up for...
Wow. Wow. Ow. Wow. 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 Ow. 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 Wow. 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 Wow.
There's also the rave party. Yeah, some weird things when you lock bones and then cause them to jiggle. They kind of become liquid. What's in this one? I got a couple in this one. We got Book Orbit. And then there's also, I believe, a Dancing Twi back here. Yeah. Select your books. I have one that personally I use, but it's wait, I think she is still alive. She is. Yay. She's alive. She is the Celestial Dragon. Behold. It is beautiful. Bite. Yeah, put right there. Bite. What? Some of my teeth. I thought she was gone. I think it makes me happy. Got any other stupid stuff? I think that might be the end of the stupid stuff. Yeah, that's all I got for stupid stuff. There's some in the earlier shots, but getting to them and extending them to play and stuff would do a lot of modification. So yeah, the cards are in like they're in one of these thingies. And they're getting them and working them. No, I don't feel like doing that. That's why they're over there, so they're not lost forever. But yeah. They're so cheap. Okay, so that shot. And that one they're doing the tongue stick thing. I'm considering kind of doing this like I did with the Full Metal video, where I actually used volumetric lights put at the edges of the camera to darken things. I think I still went in After Effects and darkened it a little bit in there, and I wonder if I should probably just leave it for that. Because if I do it here, it's permanent, but if I do it there After Effects, I can play with it however I want. I still don't like how this is sharp shadows throughout here, and then it lights here. But it was the only way for me to make it so that they had shadows. I mean, I could. That helps a little bit, but it lights up those walls too much. That's the whole point of having it like it is. Unless I add another light, just try to light up the base of the floor a little bit more here, so that it's not so dark on this side. That's refinement stuff. I'm not gonna worry about it now. And actually, I could probably just keep it like this and nobody really notice. Yes, they all celebrate being back to life by riding around in carts. Well, even though I want to have this video done for BronyCon, it's only going to be this portion that I want to have done. It's going to have another probably minute and a half prior to this that I'm going to be doing afterwards, and then another bit at the end for credits and other stuff. So even after BronyCon, it'll still probably be a month or two before this is out. Keep pausing at a weird time. See if I can do it again. Oh, I didn't. Pausing right between frames gets that there. I want to work on this frame, but I don't want to get rid of the goofy face yet. Well, technically that's a break, so I can do this one. Do I see Celestia come to a stop? No. Which means I could technically put her in her base position here. And nobody would know. I feel like she just kind of like stops. That's good. Be attracting the cougars.
I'm your princess. Let me walk. That
is the best animated walking ever. And now I must move her back leg. She's running. I'll make her run. That is, she's running or swimming. She's very flexible. Oh yeah, I probably should pay attention to where it is with this overlay. Make a laying pose? Good luck. That model is not gonna lay. That sounded bad. She's not gonna lay down properly. Because the legs don't really have the bone positioning to like even sit properly. You know what? I think this might be. Am I using the old version of the model? I think I am. Whatever, works fine, but it depends. Does she have a... Oh, no, she has a job one. No, it's the new one. Because it had a really bad problem with the back leg at first. Or that leg works fine. Did I do something wrong with that leg? Oh, it's just I think one is fixed, one isn't. No, they both look that way. It just feels weird. But you have to be careful how you use them. A lot of times I'd have to actually change their positions here to make something work right. Yeah, you can make it work, but the problem is having a pony stand up and down from laying on their side is a lot more difficult than if they were trying to do a doggy sit. Because with that, it's just really easy. You just blend a stand into a sit. But if they're doing a laying on their side, it's there's like probably 4 or 5 steps you'd have to go through to get them to stand or to get them to lay down. So that's what it comes down to. And you can do it really quick, but if you want to actually have everything match up and land where it's supposed to, it's going to take a lot more time. Once you do it once, you can kind of reuse it, but it's getting to that point. Video stuff, that's what's going on. That's great. It kind of works, but Spawny works for great for usually getting an idea of something, but not here. I don't know why it just doesn't work in there. One thing I don't like about her doing this is that she technically is too. She's trying to become be a focus here, but we're not. When Twilight's too far forward. If I take Twilight and back her up a bit, maybe. But that makes sense that she's standing here to there. Yeah, backing her up would make sense. There, now at least she's not in some weird focus limbo. Forget to deselect the eyes here. Yes, I rage quit making this map. I rage quit SFM for like, oh, I forgot she's here too. Princess Twilight. No, I rage quit SFM for probably 4 months. I got so pissed off making this map. Fantastic. So here I kind of want to have, I thought about having Twilight look up at this time, but I want to save that for this shot. Was that with the music? Forgot if it was or not. It's good there. Yes, make video Celestia being even more deep. I don't think you can get any deeper than what it was. Oh, I was like, thought there's a lighting flickering in the back of there. Bye-bye. And actually, I probably would be going to. I am starving and I am tired. And so I still want to mess around and grab a little bit later. So I'm thinking I might do that. Plus, I think here's just going to be refinement stuff, and that's going to take a while. So didn't get that much done, but it's okay because my brain's still mush. So that's what this weekend's for. I'm going to relax and have family outing on Sunday. Hopefully get my brain back in order so that next week I can start pounding out video stuff again. So, but it is nice being back doing these stream things again. So we get stuff done. Woo! Woo! The one difficult part about doing this one compared to like the Full Metal one is the Full Metal one I had a one-to-one representation of what I was doing, so I just had to copy it. This one I have to be creative, so it takes more time to try to figure out how I want to do things, when I want to do things, blah 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 blah. Thinking. So I'm going to call it here, and I am going to try to go back to the normal streaming schedule of Tuesday, Friday. Well, it's Friday's the normal, Tuesday is still if, but it's been more an if than not if. So that's going to be the... Let me double check something out. I want to make sure I don't have anything up. Yep. Next Tuesday's fine. So I will be back streaming then. Thank you for coming and supporting and being cool people. For you, I will give the best thing I can give.
Wow.
Kind of ruined by the effect. There we go.
Wow. Ow.
That is my face. So anyways, yes. Goodbye. Good night. And see you whenever. Alright. Good night, guys. See you later.